Have you ever heard of a five-star general who became president and then warned the world about the very military he helped build? That's the incredible story of Dwight D. Eisenhower, or as many called him, Ike. His journey from the battlefields of World War II to the Oval Office is one of the most fascinating in American history. Today, we are diving deep into the life of the man who shaped a nation during a time of immense change and tension. We'll explore how he went from commanding the largest amphibious invasion in history to leading the country through the Cold War, all while leaving a legacy that still echoes today. So, who was the real Dwight D. Eisenhower? Let's find out. Born in Texas in 1890, Dwight David Eisenhower's early life didn't immediately point towards the White House. He grew up in Abilene, Kansas, a place that shaped his pragmatic and down-to-earth character. His path to prominence began not in politics, but in the military. He attended West Point, graduating in 1915, and his strategic mind quickly set him apart. While he didn't see combat in World War I, his organizational skills were undeniable, and he spent the interwar years honing his expertise in military planning and leadership. He served under legendary generals like John J. Pershing and Douglas MacArthur, soaking up invaluable experience that would prove crucial in the years to come. It was this steady, behind-the-scenes work that laid the foundation for his meteoric rise. When World War II erupted, Eisenhower's moment arrived. His talent for managing complex operations and, more importantly, for managing the massive egos of Allied commanders was unparalleled. In 1942, he was appointed Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Forces in Europe. Think about that responsibility. He was in charge of a coalition of armies from different nations, each with its own agenda and leaders. His crowning achievement was orchestrating Operation Overlord, the D-Day invasion of Normandy on June 6, 1944. This was the largest seaborne invasion in history, a monumental gamble that turned the tide of the war in Europe. Eisenhower's leadership, his calm under immense pressure, and his ability to foster unity were instrumental in the Allied victory. He returned home a hero, a five-star general celebrated across the nation. After the war, he served as Army Chief of Staff under President Harry Truman, and later as the first Supreme Commander of NATO, continuing his work to secure a fragile post-war peace. But Eisenhower's service wasn't over. In 1952, the American public, weary of the ongoing Korean War and the political turmoil at home, looked for a leader they could trust. The Republican Party saw their man in the universally respected General Eisenhower. Running on a powerful slogan of communism, Korea, and corruption, he presented himself as a figure above the political fray. His opponent was the eloquent Democrat Adlai Stevenson. Eisenhower's immense popularity, his I Like Ike campaign, was unstoppable. He won the election in a landslide, ending 2 decades of Democratic control of the White House and shattering the New Deal coalition that had dominated American politics since Franklin D. Roosevelt. The war hero was now President Eisenhower, facing a whole new set of battles on the home front and the world stage. As president from 1953 to 1961, Eisenhower navigated some of the most treacherous waters of the 20th century. His primary foreign policy goal was containing the Soviet Union during the height of the Cold War. He pursued a policy known as the New Look, which emphasized nuclear weapons as a deterrent to reduce reliance on expensive conventional forces. This was part of his plan to keep pressure on the Soviets while also working to reduce the federal deficit. He ended the Korean War, fulfilling a key campaign promise. He also dealt with crises in the Suez Canal, Lebanon, and saw the beginnings of American involvement in Vietnam. At home, he presided over a period of significant economic prosperity. Though a Republican, he didn't dismantle the popular New Deal programs. In fact, he expanded Social Security, showing a moderate and pragmatic approach to governance that defined his presidency. One of Eisenhower's most significant domestic challenges was the rise of Senator Joseph McCarthy and the anti-communist hysteria known as McCarthyism. While Eisenhower privately detested McCarthy's tactics of baseless accusations and fear-mongering, he was initially hesitant to confront him directly. However, he worked strategically behind the scenes. By using executive privilege to prevent his aides from testifying at McCarthy's hearings, he starved the senator of the public confrontations he craved. This move, combined with the televised Army McCarthy hearings that exposed the senator's bullying tactics to the American public, effectively brought an end to the McCarthy era. Eisenhower's quiet but firm stand helped restore a sense of reason and due process to the political landscape, a crucial, if often overlooked, part of his presidential legacy. Another defining aspect of Eisenhower's presidency was his approach to civil rights. While not a vocal crusader, he took actions that had a lasting impact. He appointed progressive judges, including Earl Warren as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, who would later preside over the landmark Brown v. Board of Education decision that desegregated schools. When the governor of Arkansas used the National Guard to block 9 African American students from entering Little Rock Central High School in 1957, Eisenhower faced a critical test. He federalized the Arkansas National Guard and sent in the 101st Airborne Division to escort the students into the school, enforcing federal law and upholding the Constitution. It was a powerful demonstration that the federal government would not tolerate defiance of its authority on civil rights. He also signed the Civil Rights Acts of 1957 and 1960, the first such legislation since Reconstruction, which were important steps in protecting voting rights. As he prepared to leave office in 1961, Eisenhower delivered one of the most famous farewell addresses in American history. In it, he offered a stark and prophetic warning. The man who had presided over the largest peacetime military buildup in the nation's history cautioned against the growing power of what he termed the military-industrial complex. He warned that the immense combination of the armed forces and a massive arms industry was a new phenomenon with the potential for misplaced power that could endanger our liberties or democratic processes. This warning from a 5-star general and outgoing president was stunning. It cemented his legacy not just as a warrior and a statesman, but as a wise elder concerned about the future of the republic he had served his entire life. It remains his most quoted and enduring contribution to American political thought. After his presidency, Eisenhower retired to his farm in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania with his wife, Mamie. He remained a respected public figure, offering advice to his successors and writing his memoirs. He was an avid golfer and painter, and also a keen reader, with a particular fondness for the Western novels of Zane Grey. Dwight D. Eisenhower passed away in 1969, leaving behind a complex and monumental legacy. He was the commander who led the Allies to victory, the president who navigated the Cold War with a steady hand, and the elder statesman who warned of the very forces he helped create. His life is a testament to duty, leadership, and a deep-seated love for his country. From the fields of Kansas to the battlefields of Europe and the halls of the White House, Eisenhower's journey shaped America and the world. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the life of Dwight D. Eisenhower. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more explorations of the figures who shaped our history. Let us know in the comments what you think is Eisenhower's most important legacy. Was it his military victory, his presidential policies, or his final warning to the nation? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.